everyone. Welcome back to Sidekick English, the podcast where English is your superpower and we are your sidekicks. If you want to learn English for beginners and have fun at the same time, you are in the right place.
Before we start, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with a friend who is also learning English. It really helps us, and it helps your friends learn too.
Today we have a fun and a little bit scary topic, getting lost in a new city and asking for help. Have you ever been lost in a new place?
I get lost in my own apartment sometimes, so yes, but we are going to help you with English you can actually use when you get lost in a city.
We will tell a story about getting lost, and we will show you useful phrases, simple questions, and easy vocabulary. You can listen, relax, and just enjoy the story.
No need to repeat anything, just listen. You can watch again later if you want more practice.
Okay, so imagine this. You arrive in a new city, new country, new language, new smells, new traffic, new everything. You feel excited and also a bit nervous.
Our characters today are us, Maya and Theo, two friends, two travelers, and two professional experts in getting lost.
That is true. So the story starts in a city called Brightford. It's not a real city, but it feels very real. Big streets, small streets, tall buildings, buses, bikes, people everywhere.
We arrive at the train station with our backpacks. It is our first time in this city. We are tired, a little hungry, and we just want to find our hostel.
A hostel is like a cheap hotel. Good for young travelers and for people like us who want to save money for pizza.
So we walk out of the station and we say, okay, this is easy. We have the address of the hostel. We have our phones. We can do this.
But of course, something goes wrong. My phone battery is at 3%. Theo has no mobile data. And we don't have a paper map.
We walk for 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 20 minutes. The buildings start to look the same. The streets all look similar. We see the same cafe 3 times. I think, wait, did we already walk past this place?
That is the moment when you know you are lost. So, what can you say in English when you are lost in a city?
Let's start with some very useful sentences. Imagine you are in that situation with us. Repeat in your head, just in your mind.
First, to say you are lost, you can say, I think I'm lost. I'm a bit lost. I'm lost. Can you help me, please?
These are very simple and very polite. You don't need long, complicated sentences. Short is okay.
Now we are standing on the corner of a small street. We don't know where to go. So I say, Theo, I think we are lost.
And I say, yeah, I also think we are lost. Then we decide to ask for help. But who do we ask?
This is important. In a new city, try to ask someone who looks safe. For example, a person at a shop, someone at a cafe, a police officer, or a worker at a bus or train station.
So in our story, we see a small bakery. The smell is amazing. Fresh bread, warm croissants. And we see a woman working there. She looks friendly.
We go inside. I smile and say, excuse me. This is a very good way to start. Excuse me is polite. It's like a soft tap on the shoulder with your voice.
Then Maya says, excuse me, I think we're lost. Can you help us, please?
The woman smiles and says, sure, no problem. Where do you want to go?
And here is another useful sentence. When someone asks, where do you want to go? You can say, I'm trying to find, I'm looking for.
For example, I'm trying to find my hostel, or I'm looking for this address. And then you show the address on your phone or a piece of paper.
In our story, I say, we're looking for Brightford Backpackers Hostel. Do you know where it is?
She says, ah, yes, I know it. It's not far from here, and we feel so happy. Not far. Great words.
Not far means it's close. You don't need a taxi? You can probably walk.
But then she starts to give us directions. And this is where things become difficult in English for many people. Directions can be confusing.
So let's practice some easy direction words you will hear many times in English.
Left and right. Two very important words. Left, right.
Then straight or straight ahead. That means continue in the same direction. Don't turn.
Also, around the corner. That means turn the corner, and it is very near.
And across from, or opposite. That means on the other side of the street.
So the woman in the bakery says, go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. The hostel is across from a big supermarket.
And my brain stops at 2 blocks. What is a block? A block is the space between 2 streets. So 2 blocks means you cross 2 streets. You walk past 2 corners.
This is a very American-style word, but you hear it in many places. If you don't understand, you can ask, sorry, what does blocks mean? Or you can say, can you please speak a bit more slowly?
This sentence is very useful. Can you speak more slowly, please? You don't need to say, I'm so sorry, my English is very bad. Just ask them to speak slowly. That is enough.
So in our story, I say, I'm sorry, could you speak a little more slowly, please? And she repeats, go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. The hostel is across from the supermarket.
Now we understand. We say, thank you so much. And she says, you're welcome. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much is stronger than just thank you. And a nice reply is, you're welcome.
Okay, we go back outside. I feel confident. This time, I will not get lost. We walk straight. We count 2 blocks. 1, 2, then we turn left.
We see a big supermarket. And yes, across from the supermarket, there is a building with a big sign, Brightford Backpackers Hostel.
Success. We found it. And everything was possible because of some simple English phrases.
Now, let's imagine another situation. Sometimes nobody knows the place you are looking for. Or maybe you don't have the exact address, only the name of a place.
In this new part of the story, it's the next day. We want to visit the city center, the main square, but we don't know where it is.
We go outside the hostel and walk for a while. We see many shops and cafes, but we are not sure we are going in the right direction.
This time, I decide to ask someone on the street. I choose a person who is not walking very fast and does not look too busy.
He is looking at his phone, standing near a bus stop. Theo goes to him and says, excuse me, do you speak English?
This question is very useful. Do you speak English? You can ask this before you ask for help. Maybe the person does not speak English. That is okay.
In our story, the man says, yes, a little. When people say a little, it means they know some English, but maybe not a lot.
Then I say, great, I'm trying to find the city center. Can you tell me how to get there?
Can you tell me how to get there? Is a nice, polite way to ask for directions. You can also say, how can I get to the city center?
The man says, sure, you can take the bus number 12. The bus stop is over there. And he points with his finger.
Over there is another useful expression. It usually means a little far, but you can see it. For example, the station is over there, and they point with their hand.
But we want to walk. So I say, can we walk there? The man says, yes, but it's about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes means maybe 18, maybe 22, something like that. Not exact, but close.
He explains, go straight down this road, then at the big church, turn right. You'll see a fountain and a lot of people. That's the city center.
So he uses a nice structure. Go straight, then turn right. Easy and very common.
You can listen for go straight, turn right, turn left, at the big church, at the traffic lights, at the corner, and so on.
If you miss something, if you don't understand one word, you can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" That is a very polite way to ask again.
Or, sorry, I didn't understand, fountain. What does it mean? And maybe they will explain, a fountain is water, like a small water show in the square.
Now we walk for 20 minutes. We see the church, we turn right, we see a fountain, many people, and a lot of shops. We are in the city center. We did it.
So from this part of the story, you can use, excuse me, do you speak English? I'm trying to find. Can you tell me how to get there? How can I get to the city center? Can we walk there? Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Sorry, what does mean?
Now, what if you want more specific information? For example, you want to know how long it takes, or if you should take the bus, the metro, or a taxi.
Let's imagine another mini scene in our story. It is evening. It's dark. We are tired. We want to go back to the hostel, but the streets look different at night.
We are in a small park. There is a woman sitting on a bench reading. She looks relaxed. We decide to ask her.
I say, excuse me, sorry to bother you. This is a very polite phrase when you feel you might disturb someone.
Then Theo says, "How can we get to Brightford Backpackers Hostel from here?"
But of course, she has no idea what that is. She says, I don't know that hostel. Do you know the street name?
I look at my phone and say, "Yes, it's on Green Street." She says, "Ah, Green Street. That's quite far from here."
Quite far means it is not close. It is a little far. Maybe you don't want to walk.
So I ask, is it better to take a bus or a taxi? This is a very natural question. Is it better to take?
She says, you should take the tram. It's faster and cheaper than a taxi.
You should take is like advice, a recommendation. Faster means it takes less time. Cheaper means you pay less money.
Then she gives us some instructions. Take tram number 3 from that stop over there. Get off at Green Street Station. Your hostel is a 5-minute walk from there.
Here again we have nice, useful phrases. Get off means leave the bus, tram, or train. It's a 5-minute walk means it takes 5 minutes on foot.
I want to be sure, so I say, so we take tram number 3 and get off at Green Street Station, right? Checking information is important.
She says, "Yes, that's right." And we say, "Thank you very much for your help." This is a lovely phrase. Thank you very much for your help.
Now, we are professional in getting lost and then getting unlost.
Let's review some more key vocabulary and phrases that appear when you ask for help in a city.
First, places in a city: train station, bus stop, metro station or subway station, city center or downtown square or main square, corner, crosswalk or pedestrian crossing, traffic lights or traffic signals.
Also, types of transport: bus, tram, taxi, metro, or subway, on foot or just walk.
Very common verbs: go straight, turn left, turn right, cross the street, get on the bus, get off the bus.
And very useful questions. Excuse me, can you help me? Do you speak English? How can I get to? Is it far from here? How long does it take to walk there? Is there a bus to? Where is the nearest metro station?
And finally, polite words: excuse me, please, thank you very much, thank you so much, you're welcome.
Now, let's go back to our story one last time. After 3 days in Brightford, something magical happens. We stop getting lost.
We start to recognize the streets. Oh, that cafe again, that big tree, that strange statue. The city feels familiar.
On the last day, we are walking to the station to go home, and we see 2 tourists looking at a map with confused faces.
They look like us on day 1. They are clearly lost.
They come to us and say, "Excuse me, do you speak English?"
And now we are the experts. We say, yes, a little. How can we help you?
They say, "We're trying to find the city center. How can we get there?"
And we give them directions. Simple, clear, and slow. Go straight for 3 blocks. Then turn right at the big church. You'll see a fountain. That's the city center.
We are so proud. Not only did we survive a new city, but we also helped someone else in English.
And this is an important point. When you travel, it's okay to be lost. Everyone gets lost. It is not a problem. It is normal.
The important thing is to stay calm, smile, and use simple English. People usually want to help. They are happy when you try to speak their language.
You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a big vocabulary. You just need a few clear, simple phrases.
So to finish, let's summarize some of the best ones from today. Just listen and imagine using them.
Excuse me, I think I'm lost. Can you help me, please? Excuse me, do you speak English? I'm trying to find this address. How can I get to the city center? Is it far from here? Can I walk there? Can you speak more slowly, please? Could you repeat that, please? Sorry, what does mean? Thank you very much for your help.
You can use these in any city in the world where people speak English. And even if English is not the main language, many people will understand these sentences.
If you want, you can write some of these phrases on a small paper or in your phone before you travel. When you feel nervous, you can look at them.
And of course, you can come back to this video and listen again to practice. The more you listen, the easier they will feel.
If you enjoyed this podcast and you want more episodes to help you learn English and feel confident when you travel, don't forget to subscribe to Sidekick English.
Click like, share this video with a friend who is planning a trip, and help them not get lost. Or maybe help them get lost in a fun way.
Tell us in the comments, have you ever been lost in a city? What happened? Did you ask for help in English or in another language?
We love reading your stories, and your comments also help other learners feel less alone.
Thanks for spending this time with us today.
You're doing great with your English. One small step, one small phrase at a time.
See you in the next episode of Sidekick English.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.